Probably my most iconic streams come from me fucking around with this game. It's one of my favorite first-person shooter horror games. People always comment on this stuff, saying, "Oh, it's too dark and that." I'm like, it's dark and that, but the atmosphere makes it creepy. That's because you're trying to stop. Trying to explain that to my dad. He tries to control stuff that's not his to control. And like, I tried to explain it to him, and like, yo, it's easier just to care about the day that you are at. If you worry about every damn thing, they worry about all these things. And I'm just like, why do you worry about things that don't fucking matter? Like, you can't do nothing about it. And I try to explain that, like my mom. I talk to my mom about this stuff too, and I talk to anybody about it. It's like the past matters, and your past doesn't fucking matter. You can't control what you like. These people that are always doing this imitation of God all the time, and that, and they're like the first people that always seem to sit there and go down this road. And you know, like, I sit there and I'm just like, dude, how about we just stop fucking caring about stuff that doesn't fucking matter? I personally don't get it because I think it's just fucking stupid. Oh no, I'm gonna die. But yeah, it's just like, I'm learning a lot. I was just going through the book of Roman with Paul, and like, it was basically saying like how to, that we started with sin and we end with Jesus, and the more and more we start to like realize it, that Christ is everything. Like, he's the one that sacrificed. And that's the biggest controversial part of the lives, that sacrifice. And I have to say like this. Yeah. Sacrifice is the biggest thing. People go down that road a lot. And they sit there. And you see as their life deteriorates, they gain new willpower abilities and that won't. I say it's abilities and that, but just it's like adaptability. They have to be adaptable. If they're not adaptable, they end up, not having the will to live. And more and more I talk to people, I'm like, oh, I researched this, I do this, I do that, and I'm like, oh, I'll do my own will. And when you look at them, their lives are fucking terrible. They worship money. They sit there and basically they don't even worship money and that. And it's sad. It's just like I'm or that. It doesn't even matter. Like I can't be like that. Like, so many people worship money now. I have this. I have that. I'm just like, but you have things, but you still are not happy. Well, if I have this, it'll make me happy. And then you get that, and then it doesn't make him happy. It doesn't make her happy. And the biggest stigma out there, I keep seeing that thing. People are miserable because they're not accepting happiness. They're sitting there and they're accepting stupidity. It's just like all these women that they all do the same thing on these TikToks and that. Like this one lady was talking about, it's like, oh, I got a multi-million-dollar business. Dude, what? You didn't even explain your business. Cause it's probably something really fucking stupid, like eyebrows or doing nails and shit. I'm like, honey, that's not a business. Yeah, it's a luxury to have a business, but a business is obviously supposed to be something that's supposed to carry out something that is useful to people. Putting on fucking nails or eyebrows, that is not useful. It's a luxury. And all these women all work together. They give each other more luxury. I know a lady that has an eyebrow business, and she says, oh, in like a couple of days I can make like $1,500 in that. I'm like, okay. In a couple of days you can make $1,500 in that. Over what? Well, I put on eyebrows and that, and these women come in like once a week to get their eyebrows done or get them adjusted or whatever. I'm like, oh my god. Like, how the fuck is that helpful to society? It makes women more prettier. No, it makes old bitches more prettier. The ones that are trying to get back in the scene after been divorced fucking 3 times. Like, that's all you're doing. God bless their soul in that, but like, there's a certain time and place where you should just accept that you're just an idiot.
So now that I've built my stability and my self-confidence, now I'm dating, and now it's much easier. Because I don't go around anybody who right allows me to be myself, allows me to focus on my goals, and doesn't teach me that other things. And when I was in my 20s, I didn't know how important that was. Right when I was 20, when we're boyfriends, we're told that our main goal is to have kids and get married. I want to be a millionaire. Cool. You're not married, you're not in a relationship, and you don't even have a regular hookup.
question to use his DNA to create a child is so offensive that you have to say it doesn't count. Now, you claim that giving birth trumps everything your husband is doing, and that's just...
Ah, wait a minute. More puppy. Up. Up. Over there. Lay down. What? No. No, I'm eating. No. What do you want, puppy? You're so warm and cuddly. You warm and cuddly. You get to see mommy. Mommy's gonna come home soon. You wanna see the mama? You wanna see the mommy? She'll be going home. Yeah, my mom's just about ready to get out of the hospital soon. She just called me now. She's doing good. She's got a bit of her strength again. Every time people stress out a lot, they build up these annoyances that makes them weaker. Because when you have anxiety in that, first of all, your heart goes out of control. And you start to fucking like ponder about stuff that is not in your control. That's why I started praying that, and it worked. I feel so much better. And I know that God's with me. I know Jesus is with me. And that's why I pray. And it works. I pray for blessings for my house, so when she gets back, the house will be cleansed. You know, I pray for comfort, recovery. But it's not even praying, it's the faith, it's the belief that it's going to happen that makes it happen. Yeah, like, it's a beautiful thing. It really is.
While you're growing the baby yourself, he is working too. But none of it ever counts because the main job will be the entire planet is dead to you. But you want your baby born in too. But it's kind of hard to have that baby. He's a man who ordered a fake thing in the first place, you dumbass. You might be saying, no. All they hear is who wants cake. Let me tell you something, they all do. They all want cake.
Those who are so desperate for other people to have things that you don't even know is real and obsessive. And like, I just don't think that you have enough going on in your life. Like, why do you care whether some people choose not to have kids? And why are you so invested in other people's dreams? Like, what's wrong with you? Do you know how unstable you have to be to leave hate comments to other people who don't want kids just because you wanted them? Like, that is absolute mental delusion
Yeah, I love for the woman that's sitting there on TikTok wasting time. Here's what it is. When people talk like that, let's go with what Jesus said. Jesus says everyone's the same because we all sin. We're all born into sin because of Adam's first sin. So when Jesus tells us none of us are good, people try to think that they stand above someone else. In some ways you might in this world because you might have more luxury, but it's called luxury for a reason. It's not a necessity. People live in very little sense. Okay, like I live in a necessity house. You know, we got this house back in '98, like, you know, whatever how much money it was. It was rather cheap compared to now. I live in a little tiny room. It used to be a storage room. And my brother made it into his bedroom. My other brother made this into his bedroom. And now it's my bedroom. It's the farthest away from the house. It's on the outskirts of the foundation. I basically live in like a little ass apartment building. A little ass apartment. I pay roughly $400 a month in rent, basically. Depending. Most times it costs about $400. Maybe $500. I pay almost just as much as most people do, depending on how big my space is. My space is not that big. It's not even a one-bedroom apartment. It's like a half of a fucking apartment. Because like, it's like my parents are my tenants. Yeah, I guess to sort of extent. I mean, it's not like that, but in business sense, it is. I live in my own luxury. I have a PlayStation 5. I have a computer. I have luxury of things. I can have fun. I'm playing video games. I'm streaming them. I have an extremely nice bed. I spent about $1,200 on. But what I have to say is, it's a luxury to have the thing that I have. It's a luxury to spend $1,200 on a bed that most people can't even get because they're that broke. I know they're that broke because I work with people that get paid just as much as me and maybe a little bit more depending on, you know, how long they've been at the place. And I tell them, I just bought a $1,200 bed. Like, well, I can't get that. So you've been working here for over 2 years now. And how can you not afford a bed? You don't pay any bills. And then they're like talking about what they do. They blow all their money on what? Luxury things. Drugs, alcohol, food. Food is a necessity. Alcohol is a luxury. Weed is a luxury. Food is a necessity. You have to eat to be able to maintain your body. What I'm trying to say is that we don't need to live with enormous amount of stuff. Like seeing people buying like $5,000 watches and shit. Yeah, I got a, you know, a discounted tungsten blue ring. The tungsten with a blue, like, I guess it's like a blue, like, little metal thing around it or whatever the fuck it is. I bought it for about $800 fucking dollars. It was worth probably maybe $1,300, but I had a discount with it. Was I happy when I bought it? Yeah, because I bought it with bags. But when I look at how miserable people are, and I can explain this about my ex, complete misery. I was happy to have a girlfriend. What's up, Parker? She wasn't really necessarily happy to have a boyfriend, maybe up front, just to say. But truthfully, she wanted something else. And I tried to explain these things. And being like, you know, and I always try to explain, like, I just want to be happy. I don't need all this stuff from that. And this person wanted just luxury. Want to have this, want to have this, always want, me. I'm looking at them like, it's a necessary thing to get those things, but you're not willing to get those things because of what? Because of yourself. You want to get them because of everybody else has more than you, so you want to fixate on those things. And I say, well, that's fucking stupid. Because you are not that person. So how can you claim that you want to be like that person? And this is where the conundrum comes in. Why are people so determined to have what other people have? They always compare each other to other people. I'm always looking at from that perspective, like, what's the whole point of comparing? I mean, I get it that people want to do that stuff. But like, to me, it's just like, if I compare to someone else, it's because I want to slightly get better, but it's a personal thing. It's not a money thing. People are so into that dictation of money. And that's why you get all these people, especially, you know, all these women that become whores because of it. They throw themselves in that loop. Gotta move around a little bit. And these people get thrown in this loop. And then you try to understand. It's like you have these luxuries. You can get the things that you want. But you're always desiring stuff that doesn't fucking matter. Like for me, I buy stuff that makes me healthier, or I buy stuff that makes it more comfortable. Like, I'm probably gonna get some new pillows pretty soon. Wait for my next paycheck. Next paycheck is the biggest paycheck I ever got in this place. I'm always working. I'm working, 6 days this week. I'm working 6 days next week. There's a huge chance, I'm probably gonna end up getting, an actual full ass, 80-hour every 2 weeks paycheck. Next week, coming up soon. Today's Friday. It's gonna be Wednesday. I get paid. It's gonna be quite a bit, and I'm going to end up spending some of that money and buying me some pillows or something like that. And that's what's probably gonna happen. I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna get something that makes me more comfortable. You can spend a little bit of money on stuff, but people themselves, they blow constant money. I said, comfort lasts us for a long ass time. Like, my bed's probably gonna last me for 5 to 10 years. If I get new pillows, I have the same fucking cotton pillows that I had since I was a fucking, basically, a teenager. It's time to upgrade. It's time to get better stuff. And since that's gonna happen or not, I'm probably gonna look that shit up right now and probably get me some better fucking pillows. Because I have the money to do it. Okay, so they got a Friday thing going on right now. Yeah, I'm just looking at the shit. Yeah, I'll probably film this later. Oh man. Damn, I'm still fucking tired. Oh, it's kind of annoying. Okay, yeah, about a couple more hours. Don't want to go back to bed because I already fucking slept. And dude, I just been fucking exhausted. That workout kicked my fucking ass. But yeah. If you want to spend money, and I suggest you spend money on things that makes life a little more comfortable. Because when it comes down to it, a lot of people blow their money on stuff that it doesn't really do anything for them. If it doesn't necessarily make your life actually better, then it continuously gets better, even the smallest way. You're more or less likely. I think it's kind of a waste. If you buy drugs and shit, that's one thing. I tried conversation with Max, and that even though we're not together anymore, I am still, think that stop smoking the weed and that doesn't do anything for you. If you're gonna do it, do it for when you are stressed out. But the thing is, stress is an inevitable thing. You're gonna have stress because you're overthinking things. When you're overthinking things, you get anxiety. When you get anxiety, you get depressed. Because you want to be selfish. You want to be all about what you think life needs to be like. Jesus explains in detail. Tells us, stop worrying about life. Stop worrying about it. Everything's part of God's plan. When you fight against God's plan, the perfect plan, because you fucked it up, and it's like, no, it's not getting her business at that, she got divorced in that because she was ignorant. That was God's plan for what I know how the Bible talks about the plan. God gives plans for people. She was supposed to be with the guy that she divorced. She wasn't supposed to fucking leave him. Because you got married to him. You had a vow to him. People don't care about that because they don't believe in God. Then why do you get married then? Do not get married to someone unless you believe. If you're getting married because you want something out of it, then yeah, selfishness comes out of it. Which means your marriage is never going to last. You marry because of love. You don't marry because of luxury. Luxury comes in when you are in love. People do the opposite. You want to marry people because they have money. Or because they have a house. They have luxury in that. But the thing of it is, you're not marrying the fucking luxury. You're marrying the man or the woman. And like, the more and more I think about like people talking about their past and that, and when I listen to men get over it. It's like, I don't care. I always want to do this like revenge stuff sometimes, but women, ridiculous. Oh, you know, like my ex explained to me that she would do anything to get that man back. Did you do anything to get that man back besides not love him? You do anything to get that man back besides that you were the one that messed up your relationship to begin with, and your excuses were phenomenally fucking stupid. Every time anyone does anything completely wrong, especially in a relationship, as soon as they say anything but the truth, they say, but they're terrible people. So you can't just speak the truth and be like, yeah, I fucked up, you know, I cheated on him, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to bring that person back. It's not going to bring that comfort back. That's what I love about Christ. Christ always gives us more plans. It could be part of the plan. Maybe it's part of the plan for you to grow up because you messed up. Maybe it'll bring you in closer to God in that. And like, every single time, you know, we listen to the Bible and that, how all the disciples got closer to God in that. Even normal people in that. When you look for that sign is that feeling. So now I have to look at, how did I feel with my ex? There are sometimes the feelings were amazing. There's sometimes that we were in perfect harmony with each other. Perfect harmony. I liked her. I liked the way she looked. I liked how she did stuff in that. And vice versa. She adored me. Blah, blah, blah. But when that union got broke, it became frustration. The pushing away because the standards weren't being met. This is where like relationships get to that hard part where you want to have all these fucking standards. I'm just like, you should have this, you should have this, you should have that. I said, well, you should have the same thing too then if you keep on talking to me about what I should have. I know my lifestyle. But I damn well am not going to be treated like crap just because you want expectations to be met that already been met before. I said, honey, you already been married. You already got fucked by I don't know how many damn dudes. I never been married. I never almost had kids. I never been through any of the things you've been through. Hence the reason why the relationship didn't work out. So this is my first relationship. This is my first actual relationship. Be able to sit there and, you know, see her get naked all the damn time with her fat little boobs jiggling all over the place. You see her walking around with her fat, juicy ass all flopping around now because she was extremely attractive. Seeing these things in my head, I've never seen that before. I've never had a woman walk around fucking naked all the damn time. I'm sitting there looking at her and how attractive she is. I said, that's what it is. So, like, you've done that a lot. And, like, and that's the kind of sort of thing that men have to get into. As you get older, you can't date women your own age. You can, but they have to meet the same expectations as someone that is young. Why? Well, because it's not only about the youth of the person, how many years they've been, how many years they are. It's what the mentality of it. How much have you been through? When they say body counts don't matter, because these women want to psych up themselves and say body counts don't matter. Emotionally they do, because you can't trigger any new emotions if you already used up all those emotions. All you're gonna do is think about the last guy you're with. Think about how great your life was with that person compared to how your life is with me or with anybody else. I have to say, do I miss her? Yeah, I miss her. Is it a hard feeling? Not really. I miss the way she looked, and I miss the certain things that happened that were happy. But do I miss the bad stuff that happened? No, no one does. The anger, the like feeling like I'm not doing enough type of shit. Yeah, that's basically God telling me to get the fuck out. Like saying, no, deuces, bitches. There's always gonna be someone way fucking better. You know, go ahead and live your life wishing you could be with the dude that makes 6 figures a year that can't even fucking like give you any amount of attention. He can't even sit there and actually do anything with you because he's too fucking busy, because all he does is work 50, 60 hours a week. And while you're sitting there begging for attention because you think you deserve it, there's a problem right there. It becomes kind of sad. Because, you know, what we had was good. We worked together, which was nice. She wanted me to work with her, you know, and you know, after I lost my job at Zips when the place shut down. And I always think about it, like, if you work with someone that you're going out with, it's nice, because then you always see them. And you always can sit there and be like, oh, it doesn't take any time out of my hands to be able to conversate with you. And we were mature enough that we didn't fuck around a lot of that. And we did every now and again. You know, every now and again I grab on her big old booty or something like that. Or, you know, we give out kisses and stuff, like just small things. We would go out to lunch together or something. It was quite nice. But then the turn of event is when, this is where the turn of event happened, and this is where it got kind of stupid. It was not working together. You know, I told her to get another job and that, because the job that she was gonna have is gonna quit anyway. And our manager was a jealous fucking prick, and he didn't like that he couldn't chat that ass that I was fucking getting with, because it was nice. She was a gorgeous woman. A little bit on the masculine side, but that was just a show. Truthfully, she was a sweetheart girl. Her past are bad. Some of the things she did that were fucking stupid. She's very materialistic in some ways or another. Don't you do this? I hope she comes to her senses. I hope things change for her. I hope she gets back into the routine of wanting to be happy again. You know, would I like for her to come around, at least fucking apologize to me for how fucking retarded that she is? Yeah, that would be nice. I'm not saying that she wouldn't. I don't know. Is there a chance? Maybe. If there's not, then if it's not part of God's plan, then I can't say anything about it. Would I want it? Yeah, I would want, you know, her to be able to hang out with me and that and stuff like that. You know, if she's having a bad day and that, she's all like in her emotions and shit. Yeah, I wouldn't mind her coming over, laying on my bed, me massaging her out again, all that stuff and that, playing around with her big old booty and that. You know, pretty fucking hot actually. But the whole point of it is, if you could just be happy with someone, why does none of that other stuff matter? Why do you, well, what's the whole point of comparing yourself to another relationship and saying this relationship has this? And I'm just like, well, I don't care about the relationship. I care about you. That's where the trick is. I personally didn't give a fuck about all the stuff that happened with other relationships. Like, you know, she kept on bringing up other stuff and this and that, and I don't care. I just like to see you. That's it. I just like to see you. You know, if you like to see me, you like to see me. We see each other. That's the whole point of being together, is to be just me and you. The whole world, the world doesn't matter. Just me and you and God. And that was probably one of the things that kind of separated. Because I'm a firm believer. I'm always going to be a firm believer. And I don't care what anybody fucking says. Jesus is king. He's Lord. More and more people are coming out. I just listened to an ex-Muslim talking about it. on and there's a lot of ex-Muslims coming out and talking about Christ. They've seen Christ. Christ talked to them. Jesus Christ is King, Lord of Lords. He's the most dominating figure that we have to care about because the love is there. And that's one of the things I was reaching out. Like I said before in a couple of my streams, there was quite a few times that me and her, you know, we were sitting there laying on her little futon and that. And she's a rather short woman. She's only like 5'2", 5'3". She's short. I think she was like 5'3" or something like that. She was rather short. And like, so we were laying down there. I think we were watching SpongeBob and that. Something fun, something happy, something relaxing. And it was like the middle of the fucking day. We were both off. We sat there and cuddled, and you know, we were laying down together. I wrapped my arms around her and that. I had my other arm underneath the pillow and that. And we fell asleep together in perfect harmony. And we slept. It felt so good. And when she woke up, she seemed to be so much more happier. And now when I look at the Bible and that, when the Bible actually explains, like, when you're with someone that you are in love with, we were in love. We want to be together. But what separated was the world itself was separating us. When they say the world, Satan was trying to separate us with ideas of this and that. I need this, so you could. It's not about performance. I try to say, it's like, I just want to be with you, just to be with you. You know, life is easier with someone else. It doesn't matter what you say. Life is always easier, and it's not about the stuff that I buy. I don't buy you stuff to get into your pants. I don't buy you stuff so you can fucking get into my pants. I get stuff for you because it's a love. It's a love that performs. Love doesn't perform unless it's there. And I said, for all the stuff that you care about, you didn't care about the love that I gave to you. And when you did care about it, because you didn't notice it, the calming, the not worrying, the anxiety disappeared. That wasn't me doing that. The love was God. God was coming down in His full glory, blessing us with rest. Like Christ says, heavy laborers, heavy thinkers, anyone that does all this anxiety stuff and that works too hard, I will give you rest. That means not to fucking worry about nothing. Close your eyes and I will put you to sleep. And multiple times, the reason why I'm bringing all this stuff up, because when I read the Bible more than that, I start to see how it actually works. We were at rest. No worries. We were in harmony. I was purely fucking happy. I can still feel it when I think about it. The thing that I longed for was coming true. I always wanted to cuddle, and sleep with a woman that I actually really fucking liked. She had the body that I liked. She had the boobs that I liked. She had everything that I really fucking enjoy. It wasn't because of just that alone. It was just they were the luxuries that she just had in general. And to me, it was beautiful. Every time I saw her, it was like, you're so gorgeous. You're so beautiful now. But in the meantime, her herself started to look at it from a different perspective. She felt the love, but she didn't believe in it. That's why I always tell people, if you don't believe in God, if you don't believe in Lord Jesus Christ being the Son of God, being the one that sacrificed us, then how can you believe in a relationship with someone else? How can you love another person when you can't even love God? You can't even love Christ that really sacrificed for everybody. Depending on what religion you are, I don't care about your religion. I don't care. Christ is king no matter what. Why do I keep talking about this? Because it's true. It changed my life completely around. I pray more, like I said. I do more things. I feel the love. And when people see that I have what we call the Holy Spirit, which is the love in our hearts, it branches outwards. People see that love. They feel that love. And I get, like, these women I've always had in my whole entire life, they always call me a lover for a reason. Women attach to that. But they don't attach to it because they want to be with it. They attach to it because they want to get rid of it. They want to see if they can sit there and lust after it. You can lust after love, which is what we call the intimacy, which is sex. You're banging people. And a lot of people do these things, but they're really reaching out. They want love. I said, if I can cuddle with someone and fall asleep with someone in perfect harmony, and like the day was just complete other, not worrying about a damn thing, just me and her cuddling, me rubbing my dong on her big, huge, fat, juicy ass booty, you know, me wrapping my arms around her, you know, she was really fit in that, sitting there and smelling her beautiful, her hair and that, she was washing her with beautiful stuff and that, you know, and she smelled really good in that. It was glorious. I said, I would never want that to be lost. I got a taste of God's love through this woman, and it was the most precious feeling I've ever felt, now that I understand what God actually does for us. And, you know, one day, I'll pray, I hope she does break out of it. I hope she starts feeling in her heart again. You know, if it came down to it and she came back with me, and she was changed in that, I can't say it would be a relationship front. It'd be like, okay, you gotta prove to me that you're gonna be a good woman. You gotta prove to me that you're not gonna be this woman that's gonna sit there and be selfish and be ignorant. I said, to be with someone is to be with someone. It doesn't matter what consequences happen. Because as long as we're together, that's all that matters. And that's the type of thing that most men long for. Some men don't care, but most men long for. And then they can never find it. If they do find it, they find it half. They think that they gotta walk around with their heads cut off and do all these things. I'm like, she don't have to do any of that shit. She doesn't do a damn thing. Because like I say, if she start to get a hold of me somehow, which I highly doubt it, she seems that she moves on pretty quick. But one of the things that she told me that I still remember, and she said, she's like, you're the first guy I actually have been with that hasn't been someone that was a friend of a friend. You're the one. You're the guy I got by myself. I didn't have someone else. She's like, all the other people just like showed me these dudes and that, and I just went with them. You're the one I actually worked with, that actually like got with. So she had low self-esteem, and I'm just like, how do you have low self-esteem? I mean, look at you. I'm still mesmerized by how she looks. I'm mesmerized still, as of today. I think I'm like, it's like, well, you know, like she had a little bit of acne and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm like, yeah, people have issues. I get it. But like, you maintain yourself so well because you actually care. Like, you care about your body and that because you're obsessed with that stuff. You know. But when a woman doesn't look at themselves through a man's eyes, then to me, as a man, that I see what I see, just like a woman, that's how you have to figure out. I know what women want to look at. When they see strong, strapping men, big arms, big chest, big shoulders, they got mass on the neck. And you start to see that they change, and they change even more, and they keep on changing. And you start seeing a physique change. A personality gets a little bit more disciplined. Personality never changes. It just gets more complex as it gets stronger. It doesn't tend to freak out emotionally so much. And like, And I have to say, this question, would I ever take this person back? Girlfriend? Probably not. It would be a little bit of a long road because I lost trust in her. Things could have been different to a certain extent. They could have been different, but there wasn't enough patience. It was a disconnect. And one of the things is that I have to say is that I probably have to work on. That I've noticed. I was working on it anyway, but didn't have enough time to prove it. Because when she broke up with me and that, I even tried to explain to her that. I said, it's like, if you want to break up with me, break up with me. If you don't think that I'm interesting enough, that's because, first of all, I don't even know how. Because most men that I speak to and that, they're dull and fucking boring. Talk about a dude that's not interesting as one that just sits there and just wants to fuck you all day. That's one of the things that was kind of in our leeway. I didn't want to have sex with her up front. She wanted to. She threw down quick as fuck. I said, slow down a little bit. Let's absorb the love that we have. Make the memories in that. Start producing the mechanisms that get us closer. And I said, this is what's happening at this job that I'm at. I said, every job I get at, there's always some desperate woman that has relationship issues, and they always cling on to a new guy. And they always do the same thing because it's the butterfly effect. Instead of constantly committing to the same man or constantly committing to the same woman, they want something new because it's a fresh start. I said, a fresh start should be when you wake up. A fresh start should be a new person. What is that? Every time I saw my ex, I enjoyed it. If I took all the negativeness out of her and banish it to fucking hell, it would be the iconically perfect woman. Amazing. Life could have been 10 times better if there wasn't no negativity. But when the double creeps in, he creeps in very quietly. Because he knows if he oversteps his boundary too loud, then that's when you start to pray. When you start to pray, you can't do nothing about it. But the thing is, it takes two. So, like, if my ex start praying with me, we start praying together, then there would be no way the devil can creep into a relationship. The thing is, she wasn't praying that much. She was trying to, but she kept on denying it. She kept on complaining about praying not working. I said, prayers work, not in your time frame. Once again, thy will be done, not your will. And that's one of the things that I'm learning. Thy will means God's will is absolute. It doesn't matter if we do it or not. If we don't do it, then that's just dumb on our part. But people have to understand, like, why does God have a plan for everybody? Everybody has a different plan. We don't all have the same plans, because you're not all going to meet the same people, but we're all going to do one of the same things. We're all going to fall in love. If God made us out of love, and God wants to be with us into eternity of love, as of I stand right now, why don't we just accept the love that God gives us? Just like I was listening to this ex-Muslim talk about, he died for 8 minutes or something like that. He said he literally met Jesus. And a lot of Muslims are coming out there and saying they go to Christianity now because they actually meet Jesus. And so he was talking about that. And he was saying, like, I met Jesus and Jesus actually explained in detail. Like, there's so many times I try to pull you in. I try to pull you in multiple times. And you kept on denying it. But now that he died, he was in death's door. he saw Jesus in real time. It hasn't been the first time, and surely will not be the last time. And that when we reject something that is supposed to be there for us, and we keep on rejecting it, it becomes a hassle. That's why we don't reject that feeling. Anyone ever had those feelings in that? You're just like, you feel like that you're in love. Guess what that feeling is? That's God's plan. Anyone ever fell in love when you saw a girl and that you're just like, wow, she's so gorgeous and I would like to talk to her and that? That feeling, if it's not a fucking lust feeling, you're like, you see her all the time and that your heart's pumping and that you get those butterflies and that. That's God. God is implicating, telling you, hey, that woman's for you. Take her. That's exactly what it is.